Right. Yo, what's up, YouTube Awesome family? It's K right here. I'm back at it once again. I got the homie, Ofacio. How are you, my
How you
friend?
doing, my brother? How you doing, bro? Happy
Doing
New
good.
Year.
How are you? Yep. Happy holidays to you. Hope everything's well. Um, yeah. How was everything? With training, how's the career going?
Everything's going great. I just restarted camp. So I just fought about 2 weeks ago against a 45 veteran, and I came out victorious. So thank God for that. And yeah, we're looking forward to bigger and better things this year. I'm now 9-0 with 6 knockouts, and moving forward, we should be fighting in February. So stay tuned.
Hmm. Now, speaking of February, there's some big news that I need to ask you. The Queen Amanda Serrano is going to be fighting, I believe February 4th at the Garden. And I was thinking, like, could there be a possibility if you could get on that card, for more?
I would love to fight on February 4th in the Garden. The date that I'm hearing now is the 25th.
Oh, wow.
So, but I would love to fight in the Garden. That's my hometown. I'm from New York City. But you
Yeah.
know the politics in boxing.
Yeah, because, like, if you had, like, a perfect world where you could set up all your fights however you wanted to, you'd just be fighting anywhere. Like, you wouldn't have to wait up on a promotional, network or whatever to try to limit you of, like, how many fights you could fight, right?
Exactly, exactly. This year the goal is to have 5, 6 fights this year. They want me to my manager and my team. They want me to be like around 15-0. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, because like I was like listening on like a good video. I think Jaron Ennis, he was like talking about how he built up his career, and he just took basically whatever fight that was there, but how he has it set up, which like I mean honestly, like due to like, the politics, like he said if he had everything his way, he'd like he'd be fighting almost like every other month. So
Yeah,
how he had it set up, heading into Showtime. I believe he's with Cameron Duncan, and he's with a Showtime connected with them. So how it works is that he doesn't have like a promoter telling him what to do. It's just him and his father. But
yeah,
I think Cameron Duncan, he's like the main controller to operate with the management behind closed doors.
yeah. Right now it's just me and my father and my management, Go Management. And yeah, so we're just making moves like that, fighting whatever fight we can, whatever platform we can find, and see what we can do.
Yeah, speaking of fights, like do you have like a certain list of like opponents that you want to knock off at in your weight class or?
No, I just take it fight by fight. Whoever presents it, whichever opponent presents itself, I'll be ready for it. Anybody who's ahead of me.
Yeah, because like I think there's just like to me personally, like correct me if I'm wrong. Like you fight at 130, right?
Correct.
Yeah, like I just think at that division, there's just too much like weak opposition that's being hyped up, and I think it's just really unfair how the matchmaking is because like a lot of those guys in like the top 100s, like they're not fighting nobody good. They're not going into wars compared to what you're doing and some other fighters are doing like you're taking on challenges against veterans in which even though that they may be older than you, you're just getting that experience in because you're just trying to get in those heavy loaded rounds. So therefore, once you're ready for like a world title shot or anything to get closer to one, I assume that's just going to make you a lot better, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. What I would say is that I'm not here to talk bad about anybody else who's ahead of me. All I say is that when the time comes, and it's time for us to face each other, and they haven't faced the level of opponents that I've been facing, it'll show that night.
Who are you like getting training with like as far as like other teams like do you get sparring in with like high level fighters that
Absolutely. I'm
yeah.
from what I hear, we're supposed to be going out to spar over there in Cali. I know they have a lot of fighters over there in Cali, so let's see what happens over there.
Oh,
We're
nice,
probably gonna go to the
nice.
Wild Card Boxing Club.
Yeah, because like a lot of the good fighters, like especially from the Western hemisphere, especially out in like California or any other part of the United States, like those fighters tend to have like a lot more talent, flooded in. So like I was just curious like about that.
But, yeah. So for the most part, I'm planning on going to like the Wild Card. I'm planning on spar Shakur this year, God willing, if that can happen.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
get that level of experience. I want to spar. I want to start sparring those world champions. Getting
Yeah.
that experience there.
How difficult of sparring do you go through? Like, do you go through heavy loaded sparring, or do you just go through sparring to just get better?
I spar about 2-3 times a week.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
2-3 times a week, and I do from. I'm starting to fight 8 rounds. My next fight is going to be 8 rounds. But I've been sparring 9, 10, 11, 12 rounds repeated
Yeah.
2-3 times a week with tough guys. So it depends on how close I am to the fight, honestly.
Do you tend to have like that little like stamina issue in like your fights where like when you start getting into those deep waters, do you feel really really tired getting into those rounds or?
Actually, no. My last fight, I was picking it up every single round. And as a matter of fact, the last round I even threw the most punches I threw the entire fight. And I was throwing punches every single round. I was not tired. 6 rounds was nothing. I'm ready for 8 rounds. I'm more than ready for 8 rounds.
Yeah, because like you have such a great gas tank that nobody doesn't really talk about a lot. Like I see it, and I just figured to ask that because like like yeah.
I've been through a lot of opposition last year. In 2022. Remember, I didn't fight it for a year and 4 months. I came back and just started taking step up fights after step up fights. Um, um, and I just wanted to continue proving myself. Take bigger fights than I've ever took in my career. And I was taking step up, taking my time, step by step. And I feel like I've done enough in 2022. And this year I want to turn up even more. Um, I'm warmed up again, so
Yeah.
I can say that.
Have you like been in there with some styles where like guys like that punch hard, they start having like their power like fade in late game? Like, do you ever feel that happening to you, like in a fight or?
I wouldn't say I've taken a hit like that yet, simply because I have great defense. I don't know if people see that. I wish they can, or just why if you guys see my fights, you'll see that I have great defense. I haven't taken a big shot like that. I would say that, oh my God, this guy had power. I'm always slipping or rolling a shot or something like that. But I have been in there with guys, when I catch a shot, I'm like, okay, this guy got power, so just be careful. So if that's what you're talking about, yes, I have.
Yeah, because a lot of people really crap on fighters like Devin Haney and all those guys that are pure boxers to say that, well, they don't have any power, so how are they gonna carry that into at the high level? But that's not true because like most of the greatest fighters in the world were pure boxers with like good exceptional power. Like you don't need to
You
have
don't
power.
need a. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with that. You do not need an enormous amount of power to get to the top. I mean, of course, you need to be respected in some way, somehow, but I say skill beats anything, honestly. Skill, like ring IQ, that beats everything.
What do you work on as far as like perfecting like the pure boxing craft? Like, do you work more on footwork or do you work more on like actual like seeing those shots come at you and then you're being like computerized to like understand like what angles you need to be at to.
Yes, I work on being at the right place at the right time. Making small movements, but that matter. Um, I also fight southpaw too. That I haven't been showing a lot of my fights, so we're working on bringing that out a lot more too. I want to start showing people all of my abilities rather than 50% of it. My last fight, I want to show people that I can throw punches and still have a gas tank and I still have all that stuff. Compared to the fight before that in Costa Rica, where as to I didn't throw a lot of punches simply because a lot of things were going on behind the scenes. And when I got there and stuff, I'm not going to speak on that. But
Got it.
so this fight, I took an even bigger step up fight than that fight, and I threw more punches and I showed my skill, my talent. I showed that I could throw a lot more punches. I showed that I still alert. I still got great defense, and I could fight on the front foot. And now I just want to continue showing and continue getting better. That I have more in me besides just throwing punches and just defense or boxing. I want to show a little bit of everything. Now I want to show that I can fight southpaw and do everything that I do on this side on that side as well.
Yeah, because that's interesting that you say that because it seems like nowadays a lot of fighters are now listening to what the fans tell them what to do, and it's like that's a recipe for disaster in my
Absolutely, I agree.
eyes. Yeah, but for you, you're basically saying what Devin Haney says. Like, I don't care what the fans tell me. I'm coming in to win. Like, you're not trying to, have your career cut short. You want to be in the sport and then get out, at a good state.
Absolutely. You see, I tell you something. Everybody's with you at the moment when you're winning, and then once you lose, everybody disappears. I know that about this sport. I have friends in this sport that have lost, and everybody disappears from it. I know how that goes. My goal is to get in there and win, but at any means necessary. It don't matter how I'm feeling, whether I'm sick, it doesn't matter. I got to go in
Yeah.
there and win. And just because they want me to, you can't punch with a puncher. I'm not gonna stand in front of a guy if I don't need to. I'm gonna hit and not get hit. That's the name of the sport. That's the science behind boxing.
Yeah. As far as like I guess like the weight class goes, like do you have do you have like those fighters that are like bigger than you, and do you ever get like intimidated by like the size differential, in a fight, or
Sorry, say it again.
like in some of your fights, like I've seen some opponents be bigger than you in a fight, but do
Yeah.
you ever get intimidated by that size
No, I don't.
differential?
Not at all. Size don't mean anything. I was brought up by that even just in life. My father always told me size doesn't mean anything, and I believe that. It doesn't mean anything at all.
Yeah, because like a lot of weird casuals try to bring that up to say, oh, size matters, but that doesn't matter in any division. Like, you could be like the smallest person in the ring, and you could still knock somebody out that's like way taller than you and bigger than you.
Absolutely. I agree with that as well. I feel like size doesn't matter at all. Whether you're taller than me, smaller than me, you're stockier, that doesn't matter. I mean, for example, Tank.
Yeah.
Great example. That man is short, but he can take anybody on. That size does not matter at all.
Yeah, you're just as tall as them, right?
Huh? No, no, no. I don't know. I don't know how tall Tank. I think Tank is like 5'5", five
Yeah,
six.
yeah, yeah, he's like 5'5".
Yeah, I'm 5'6".
But
I don't know.
oh,
I
really?
one time in person, but it was like from a distance, so he looked, how it from a looked tall or whatever. Yeah, so
Yeah, Gervonta looks like a miniature, like almost like a childlike figure, but he's just he's like a droid, in like a really small body.
yeah, I agree. I said,
Yeah.
but my favorite fighter right now is Jerron Ennis. That man's different, bro.
Yeah, man, I can't wait for Boots this Saturday. It's gonna be lit because I really
Yeah,
want to go.
this event this Saturday.
Yeah. Um, I was actually gonna ask, like, if you had, what the venues you wanted to fight for this year, like, what's your top spots that you want to be at the spotlight, where like everybody's there, and that's like your perfect venue for like this upcoming,
So
2023.
you want to see what's my perfect venue? I would love to fight at Madison Square Garden in front of my hometown. Um, I haven't really gotten a lot of opportunities to fight in front of my people. I always took risks and fly to other countries or stuff like that. I would love to fight in front of my people. Everybody's been asking for it. I got so many DMs and messages and phones just all over the place. When you guys gonna fight here? When you gonna fight here? And I feel like that's about that time. So this year, God willing, we can make that happen.
Yeah, because I definitely like to see you at the Garden because like I like going out there and it feels like almost like an NFL stadium with the NBA stadium, and it's just like electric.
I would love to fight at the Garden, and I know I can fill it up, man. I've been
Yeah.
fighting my life in the Bronx in New York City, man. Like everybody knows me here.
Oh yeah, Yankee Stadium. That would be like a perfect spot for you too.
So the last person to fight there was Miguel Cotto, right? The main event.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was. I would love. I would love. That's actually one of my dreams to fight in the Yankee Stadium and fill that up. To be the next Puerto Rican fighter to fight there. That'd be amazing. But
yeah, like
God, I can tell, and God willing, that I can make that happen.
yeah. I was also gonna say, maybe you should do like the New York Met Stadium and then transition to like the Yankees and then do Barclays and then do like Madison Square Garden. Like I think that's a perfect market, right?
That
To
is a
do.
market. That's
Yeah.
great. That's amazing. But I feel
Oh,
like people that are taking over Madison Square Garden is more like top ranking them.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I always hated that people say Madison Square Garden is always top ranked, but PBC always brings out good fights out there too.
Yeah, true, true. You're right. You're right.
And DAZN and whoever. Like it's not like top
But
rank is like the
it's
yeah.
more like, but it's more likely you'll see a ESPN fight at Madison Square Garden than you would see a PBC. Like you see multiple fights a year in Madison Square Garden by top rank. That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Yeah, because aren't there like other promoters out there that set up fights at like other different parts of the city, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because like I've always be having people tell me that they got fights out in like other parts of the city, like Manhattan or wherever, right?
Yeah, they have other places over there in New York City. But like my dream place to fight in New York City. I mean, in Madison Square Garden. That's like the place that I want to showcase my talent in front of all my people. Fill that up. That's my
Yeah,
dream. That's the place I need. That's where I want to make everything happen when I fight for my belt. Maybe how Teofimo did it. He came back to New York City, fought for his first belt when he beat Richard Coney. That's something I would
yeah.
love to do.
I was gonna say if you could like I would like to see you fight out in Albany, because like I
That'd be
wanna
cool too.
yeah because like Albany is not really known for like having fights anymore, but back then like when they used to have fights, like I think it was over in Lark Street Armory. But
Yeah,
if if it's possible, if they could ever have fights be brought back at like Times Union Center or up in Saratoga over at the Saratoga racetrack or anywhere in I guess Troy down in I guess like by like the Uncle Sam's Boxing Club, that would be pretty good. So
that would be cool.
yeah, because I don't know if you know Abraham Nova, but
Of course,
he's
of course, I know Abraham.
yeah, like I basically met him through a boxing gym, like like years back. But he was telling me that if he does good in this fight that's coming up, that he's fighting on the top rank card over at the Turn and So Casino. He said that Top Rank could potentially work something out where he could have his own like event out in Albany. So if Albany could be like another market, I think that would be like a great spot because a lot of people from New York can go down there and then
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
come.
It's not that far. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, just versus like trying to force everybody from upstate to just go all the way out there and then just
I,
basically watch everybody fight.
I agree with that, brother. Listen, that if that's something that he can make happen, God willing, I can get on that car. Listen, bro, I'm all for it. I want to get as many fights as I can in this year. Continue getting building and getting my experience up. Right now, I think I'm like ranked like 200 in the world and like 36 in the U.S. I'm trying to be at least like top 20 in the U.S., 100 in the
Yeah.
world by the end of this year.
Are you trying to try to get like a title at 130 and then move up, or how is the political
As
planning
of
going
right
to
now,
be?
I make 130 no problem. Well, not I wouldn't say no problem, but I make it fine. You know what I'm saying? So I'm planning to try. I'm gonna try to become undisputed at one weight class. That's what I'm trying to do and continue moving up. You know, I see all these undisputed world champions right now. And, you know, they inspire me. People like Devin Haney and Stephen Fulton. Those guys inspire me. I want to make that happen. That's something I do want to make happen.
Yeah,
That's my
yeah.
goal.
I just wish it wasn't like about belts, but if it was just like about like legacy, like how about this? Like, don't you know how this recent MMA thing that happened with Bellator and Risen, right? Um, basically, I was like thinking like if boxing had it set up like if you got into more tournaments and you were winning them, you could cross promote with other fighters that are good, and then you could actually have like a Super Six or almost like a Ultimate style tournament where all the
That's
best fighters can just go at it, and it's not about money anymore. It's just about fighting, right?
I,
Because
but you know, boxing isn't what it used to be. After COVID, everything changed. You know, it is about money now. Um, in all aspects, fighters don't want to fight because of the money, which I understand as well. As not, I wouldn't say that's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that we need to live too. It's not only to give a show, it's also to support our families. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, we're putting our lives on the line to fight. So that's understandable as well. But it's also on the promoter side. It's all about money as well. They wouldn't invest in a fighter unless they can make them money. So COVID changed a lot of things. 2022 wasn't the best year at all. But you know, now it's time for all of us to just adapt and move on, and hopefully, boxing could just become better than what it was. You know what I'm saying? But it's in time, of course. Everything takes time.
yeah, because like if you weren't so how should I say restricted by like the money, then you would just be able to fight as many times as you want, and then you could still make like a good killing off of like getting whatever fights you want to be on, right?
Yeah,
Oh man,
absolutely.
that's crazy. Yeah,
Things happen, you know, in every sport. Hopefully, the sport goes back or just evolves into something better. You know, I know eventually I see these YouTubers coming in. People criticize them a lot, saying it's bad, because I feel like it's good for the sport. They're bringing a new type of fan base into the sport that's going to help us eventually, anyways. So that's just my opinion on that.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
sport. It's an open sport. You know what I'm saying? If I decide to go play basketball, I can go play basketball. If I decide to go play football, I can go play football. If they decide they want to come into sport and bring their fan base over here and throw their own shows, I don't see why not. You know the risk behind it. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah. It's just that like it's good that YouTubers are having their own thing because like originally they were trying to coexist with other fighters to be main eventing on a card where they've never boxed before, but yet they're such a big name. But you have professional fighters being like a co-main event under them. Like that's just something that didn't click with me. Like because like you should be like the main event over them. You're
politics.
yeah.
Politics, brother. Politics. That's just boxing now, and it's something that we all live with. Man. At the end of the day, bro, we can't do anything anymore.
Yeah. Hey, but
Sometimes they
I'm
tell you,
still yeah.
sometimes they'll tell you you're A side. You're not actually A side. You know, you're A side on the paper, but in the books, people around you, you know, you're not. Boxing's not what it was used to be, bro. After Mayweather, everything changed.
Yeah, so it's all politicized to try to have the political machine go up against you.
It's always about making the right moves now, bro. As long as you, I encourage fighters to, if you're gonna be in this sport, just make the right moves. Have a good team around you, and don't go. Just don't listen to everything everyone tells you. Not everybody means good for you. So that's it. At this moment in my career, I'm just here to make smart moves, take the right fights at the moment. Of course, step up fights as I go on, and you know, but for the right fights at the moment. Everything that has to make sense. You know, at the end of the day, too, I have a family, I have a life, and you know, so keep that.
Sweet. All right. Yeah, like I don't want to hold you up, like I'm pretty sure you got to go back to training, but yeah, like if you got any final words you want to bring up before we, wrap things up, go for it.
First of all, I want to say thank you. Happy New Year's to you and your family, and Merry Christmas to you and your family, brother. And I appreciate the interview once again. Shout out to my father, my manager, Gold Management, Underdog Boxing, my all of my friends, families, and supporters. The snipers here, baby. 2023. You're turning up. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, and yeah, keep me updated whenever you come down here. In Florida, I can always pull up for like a fight, but
I'm gonna
I'll
go down there and spar soon as well, so I'll keep you updated, brother.
nice. Yeah, because like I'm gonna go out to like the Tampa area or anywhere in Plant City.
Okay, cool.
So
All right, get you up when I get there.
okay, perfect. I appreciate you for coming on.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate everything, bro. Take care, man.
All right, same to you. See you. All right. Thank you guys for coming through. This is just like a little quick little chop session with Ofacio. He just wanted to come through, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll leave you guys with the outro. Please go support Ofacio Falcon at Ofacio Falcon. I think that's his name on yeah, Ofacio Falcon Jr. That's his name. So yeah, be sure to go check him out. It's gonna be a pretty interesting year with him, and yeah, man, I can't wait. So much thanks to Ofacio for coming through, and yeah, that's about it. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and TWT, and I am out. This is K Rod 7435, and I will see you later. Bye.